natural and less saturated. Low light performance is pretty good here as well, with little to no grain or noise out of the main shooter. There are two cameras on the back, the main camera and the wide angle camera. I love this setup. The wide angle lens tends to open up the scene and pretty much makes everything look awesome. As far as software goes, the G5 is running Android Marshmallow 6.0.1 with the UX overlay. Theming on this device is pleasant, with white backgrounds in the notification panel and settings menu with light bluish to green accents. The UX is super clean with almost no bloatware. The only downside of the launcher is the fact that the app drawer has disappeared. You can restore the app drawer by downloading the Home 4.0 launcher, which is found in the Smart World app. Scrolling between screens is buttery smooth. This is the slimmest UI experience ever on an LG device, which is a pretty refreshing experience overall. In conclusion, the LG G5 is one of the most hated smartphones of 2015. That being said, I'm not buying it. I love the fact that LG decided to take a risk here with modularity. Even if you're not into the modularity or the friends, you're still able to swap the battery yourself, meaning that you can charge your device in 2 seconds. I love the fact that they went on ahead and made a way to include a user replaceable battery, even when the other major OEMs have stopped doing it altogether. Pair that one feature with a best-in-class camera, a gorgeous display, and a super speedy experience. This is one of my favorite phones of 2016. Alright guys, that about wraps it up for this review of the LG G5. If you like it, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel for more content like this in the future. Follow me on Twitter at DroidModderX. Thanks guys for watching. Be blessed. I'll see you in the next one.
What's up guys, TK Hero Total Tech, and I'm back with another video, and it's time to revisit the LG G5 after about 3 months. Now in this video, the LG G5 is butt-ass naked, wow. Yo, so I usually wear a case on this, but you can see that I have really beat the shit out of this phone over the time that I've had it. Now, I bought this phone as kind of like the phone I'm going to test cases and shit with, and the phone that I was going to, do a water. I was doing some portrait tests with this phone because it's a not paid off phone from Sprint that I purchased off eBay for the low price of about $130. That's what I ended up paying for this phone. That's it. It was cheap as hell, and then I took it to my man's. You guys will see a video concerning this phone. I had him come unlock it. He was able to unlock it for GSM use, and it works like a champ on Cricket, T-Mobile, basically any GSM network. You can even throw a Verizon SIM card in there. I got that to work too. I will be doing a video on this for you guys that have a Sprint one that's unlocked, that wants to be able to get those LTE bands from AT&T and T-Mobile. Those will be going, there will be a video on that going live soon, so stay tuned for that. It's actually real simple. You need a Verizon SIM and then whatever other SIM card that you actually want to rock out with. So stay tuned for that. As far as the phone itself, I gave this phone a lot of shit for not having the 60 frames per second option that came out, like other phones that came out a while back. It didn't have that 60 frames per second option, so I wasn't a fan. But the wide angle shots and the wide angle video that this thing is able to take is actually amazing. The fingerprint scanner is great, and Jesus Christ, man, to be able to just pull that battery out and swap, throughout the day 2 or 3 times, because sometimes I got to use 3 batteries in a day. That's actually pretty impressive to me, and you really can't beat that for what it is. As far as I am concerned, it's a beast, okay? Now, as far as software and shit goes, the ability that the fact that this thing can't get unlocked as far as a bootloader, unless you have an international or an unlocked variant, or the T-Mobile version, you're not getting root. That means you're not getting CyanogenMod. There will be no stock Android for your ass. Now, I know that they said that that there's people working on it and that shit's gonna happen. Look, man, the Snapdragon 820 is a fucking disaster. And unfortunately, for people like me, and for other developers that like to tinker and fuck with their phones, they basically are telling you to go fuck yourself. So just know that. Know in the future that if you buy anything, and this is me, I'm taking shots at Qualcomm, man. Know if you buy anything in the future from Qualcomm, more than likely your shit is not going to be rootable. You're not going to be able to do with what you want with the $700 or $600 purchase that you made. which I fucking totally disagree with, and I think Qualcomm can go eat a fucking dick for what they did. I'm not a fan. I don't like the fucking practice as far as a business goes. And Sprint, you're holding a major fucking L on this phone for the fact that T-Mobile unlocked their shit, but your shit isn't because you requested it not to be. So you can go fuck yourselves too. So there you go. There's my shots fired for this video. But basically, look, man, 3 months in, I got some scratches, as you can see on the display. I got some good ones. There's a nice one right here that my nail, that the hashtag Coke nail will catch. And you know, look, man, it is what it is. This is kind of like my I'm gonna go do dirt. I'm gonna go break some shit, or I don't care phone, but I still want to have that flagship quality, and that's what this is. I do run the RTEC 21 cases on it occasionally, but sometimes I just like to run it butt naked, and that's what I'm doing today. And I actually like this phone. It's actually taken some drops. It's held up pretty well over time. You can see some of the dings and whatnot around it, like right there. But overall, it's a solid phone, and especially now because people are waiting for the next great thing. This phone's cheap as fuck. You can pick this phone up on Craigslist, secondary markets, for like 350 to 400 bucks. Do not pay more than $400 for this phone, okay? I like the phone and all that, and do not pay more than 400 bucks for this phone unless it is an unlocked version from Best Buy or it is a T-Mobile variant that has been verified with a fucking receipt that the shit has been paid off and is unlocked. Outside of that, do not pay more than $400 for this phone. It's not worth it. In fact, I would tell you don't pay more than $300 for it, but that's just me. In my opinion though, as far as camera shots, the wide angle shit, the way that it performs, the button placement and whatnot, I kind of was pissed off at LG for getting rid of the buttons on the back for the volume, but I'm getting used to having them on the side, and I kind of like that. I do like the fingerprint scanner on the back. The shit is super fast, works efficiently. The display is not that dim. You can see here, you can actually see it. Also, one of the things I don't like, you can see the 4G icon. Because this is a Sprint variant, when you unlock it for GSM use, it never will say LTE, it would just say 4G. And until you root it, we can't change the build prop, unfortunately, to make it say LTE. Now, this is on Cricket, and I am on Band 2 at the moment, which supposedly this phone doesn't have, but like I said, video coming on that soon. Overall, man, the display on this thing doesn't suck. I do have to turn the brightness up to 100 or over 80 a lot. LG, I think, has made it auto dim a lot because of the battery size and it not being as big as they, you know, it's not as great as they expected. But there you have it. Let me know what you guys think right down here in the comment section down below. 3 months in, I can definitely recommend it. I feel sorry for everybody that bought this bitch on launch day and spent like me, I got an AT&T variant that I spent 680 bucks, whatever the fuck it was I spent on that phone at Best Buy. That was a fucking L. Look, man, do not spend more than 400 bucks to this phone. That's just, that's not a shot at the phone. The phone is great in my opinion. I really, really like this phone, but I'm keeping it 100% with you. It's not worth the money. Not with what's coming down the pipe and what you're going to be seeing here soon. Go get an Axon 7 with the 6 gigs of RAM. I mean, this is probably still better than a OnePlus 3. Shots fired. But in my opinion, like I said, it's a great phone for the price. Let me know what you guys think right down here in the comment section down below. Make sure to hit that thumbs up button so those fucking trolls can go eat a dick. And subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos like this in the future. Till next time, keep it gutter, and we'll keep throwing these shits and doing what we want.
Alright guys, LG G5, the latest in the G series from LG. This is going to be an honest look, a fanboy free review, an unbiased review of this sexy new phone from the guys at LG, so stay tuned. Alright, so jumping right in, I'm going to have to say right off the bat here that I absolutely love this phone. If you're a fan of my videos, you know how much I love the LG Nexus 5X, and the G5 is kind of a very, very similar phone to it, and I'll get into the details of that in a second, but LG just has a unique style and a unique design and unique features that I think are really, really great in this phone. But first we're going to talk about the hardware and build of the phone, and then we'll get into the details of it, and primarily compare it to the Nexus 5X, which is probably my favorite phone to date right now. So go ahead, jumping in. We have a 5.3 inch quad HD display, really beautiful, great saturation, great color accuracy, not as saturated as you'd find in like a Galaxy S7 or a Galaxy S7 Edge. But if you look at this compared to a Nexus 5X, which has an LCD display, you can tell that the saturation is a lot, I would say, better on the G5 than it is on the Nexus 5X. And you can kind of see the difference there between the two of them. It's very subtle, but it's noticeable. It's noticeably sharper, noticeably crisper, noticeably more color filled here on the G5. And another thing to talk about in regards to the screen and just the body itself is the top of the phone has this really great curve to it. You can kind of see it a little bit.
Hey everyone, and welcome back to another video. Today it's actually a quick one about artifact catch-up, and more specifically the speed at which you can get caught up with patch 7.1.5. As you may well know, patch 7.1.5 has two major new catch-up mechanics. The first is the ability to purchase artifact knowledge ranks directly via these books, which cost 500 each, and you can do that up to rank 15. And then additionally, you can send artifact knowledge catch-up compendiums from your main to your alts. If your main is Artifact Knowledge rank 25, which it likely will be by the time 7.1.5 releases, then you will be able to get any new character to Artifact Knowledge rank 20 instantly by using an Artifact Research Compendium Volume 1 through 4, which is purchased at your order hall when the patch drops. So with this stuff in mind, I hopped onto my Artifact Knowledge rank 14 alt to investigate how much time it would take to get a fresh weapon ranked up. Now, this character already had 3 traits on that weapon, but the first 3 traits are extremely inexpensive to the point of being insignificant in comparison to the cost of the later ones, and the goal here is just to work out roughly how long would it take to get a new character up to speed with their weapon. So, I decided to play the game mostly solo and not head into Mythic Plus. You could just go to Mythic Plus and level up quickly, but I feel like most people will be doing the solo route. I instead mostly did world quests and Suramars. I think that's just the average kind of thing to do. I used World Quest Group Finder, which greatly decreased the amount of time it took to do world quests, and it was definitely instrumental. Overall, I did about 2 hours of world quest content and 1 and a bit hours of Suramar, spread across 2 sessions of gameplay, which was across 18 hours of real time, so I had to wait even more. Likely more artifact power world quests with a spot. And this overall involved doing 3 emissary missions. So, what were my results from this experiment? I earned 284,520 artifact power. This was at knowledge rank 14, and it was enough for me to purchase overall 22 traits on the weapon. Now, you can do just a tiny bit of maths and scale that up to what I would have got if I was rank 15, and that number is 360,392 artifact power, which would have been enough for 23 traits. So as you can see, the numbers at Artifact Knowledge rank 15 are actually quite nice. You can get 15 instantly on any character at the cost of 7,500 order hall resources, which you could always ship over to one of your alts via purchasing the Blood of Sagaris order hall resource items on your main. Now, if your main is Artifact Knowledge rank 25, then you will be able to purchase the Compendium, which will boost a new character to rank 20, and that only costs 1,000 order hall resources, which is quite nice. So, if I had have been rank 20 on that character, I would have earned 1,138,080 artifact power, which would have been enough for me to purchase 28 traits. Now, this would have been enough for me to get all of my gold traits, with some weapons like, say, the Marksmanship Hunter one. That would have been enough for me to purchase all of the major throughput traits, leaving sort of only a few miscellaneous and utility stuff kind of left. And what is clear, though, with this is that with one evening of gameplay, and maybe a little bit the next day, but probably just one evening of gameplay, you can get a new character's artifact weapon to a viable state. Overall, I think this majorly reduces the barrier to entry for new characters, as getting to this stage would have previously taken, what, 3 to 4 days per artifact knowledge rank times 15, so you're maybe looking at like a month to 6 weeks. Probably more, because the inherent catch-up mechanic would slow down as you get closer to, to full artifact knowledge. Yeah, this humongously reduces the amount of time you'll need to spend working on that stuff on your alts. Like, if you just started an alt right now and we're not able to use those artifact knowledge multipliers, like, it would just take so much longer to get your weapon in a good state. Now, there is one key bit of advice here, because this video will likely come out before the patch drops. Do not do Suramar on a new character until the patch drops, because a Suramar just drops a lot of artifact power items. You definitely want to use them once you have the 15 at least ranks of artifact knowledge, and because you'll be able to get those instantly, it actually, in this case, it does make a little bit of sense to wait until those catch-up mechanics are actually unlocked. But once they are, and the patch is dropped, and you're, at rank 15 or 20, just hop in and do Suramar, do some world quests, and overall, you will be up to speed with your character. So that's it for the main part of the video. Be sure to hit that like button if you enjoyed it, or subscribe if you want to see more. And I'm just going to launch into the short Q&A section that I like to do at the end of videos. And this time we've got a question from 3Capta, who said, I have a question. What is alluring about PvE? It's just scripted fights that are really predictable in my opinion. Sure, the first time might be fun, but after that, I feel like you're just kind of going through the motions. And I think this is actually a really different topic, because it does brings up the fact that PvE and PvP gameplay are fundamentally different in how they are. You are better able to prepare for what's going to happen in a PvE fight than you are in a PvP fight. Sure, you know what toolkit your ability has, but you're still playing against another person. And even within PvE fights, it's not like you're playing against the smart AI that is trying to come up with creative solutions to kill you. Instead, you're sort of playing against a very scripted AI, which isn't really going to do much surprising, assuming you know the mechanics. So what is continually alluring about PvE content? Well, I think that it's to do with a few different things. First of all, I think it's satisfying to try to learn a fight and then to, go and execute that and win. I also think that the longer-term progression loops of PvE are a bit more satisfying than with some of the PvP stuff. There is a satisfaction in having struggled against something, overcame it barely, and then, you've got that thing down pat. I think that's good. And that also just combines into the cooperative gameplay, which is on a larger scale than it traditionally is with PvP content. However, is on a sort of a small scale, maybe 5-second to 5-second basis, is PvP combat more engaging? I actually believe that it is. Think about the amount of decisions that you are making in a mid-tier raid fight in every 10 seconds or every 5 seconds, and then compare that to the amount of decisions that need to be made in a 3v3 arena. It's pretty obvious that there are more decisions to be made in that arena. I do think that PvP gameplay is harder because, you've got two toolkits being put against each other, yours and the enemies, which are in theory kind of balanced, and you're fighting against the ingenuity of another player who is actively trying to tear you to pieces. Whereas with a mostly static boss fight, it's more you slotting into the strategy that is needed to defeat that, and also, even though they are static fights, they are maybe a tiny bit more dynamic feeling, because, sometimes abilities can happen in a different order. Sometimes, different people are targeted by a thing, which does prompt a different response from the raid every single time. Even think about some boss fights where you've got multiple different abilities on their own individual timers, such that they will converge in different patterns and orders. And again, that's something that does keep some of the fights feeling fresh. So I guess overall that's my thoughts on PvE and PvP content. I actually enjoyed them both quite a bit, though I'm definitely a lot more experienced with the PvE side of things. However, I do want to change that, and I plan to be dabbling in PvP a bit more soon. Anyway, though, that is it for the video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.
Hello, Internet.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. LG gave out the ability to get an additional battery and an additional external charger for the LG G5 battery when you pre-order the device. Now, I have the LG G5, thank you to Verizon for allowing me to review this device, but I received my battery and external case, and I realized that it actually can do a little bit more than just basically charge the external battery. So this is TK, we're going to talk about that. Let's check it out. now you have an external battery for your G5. And the G5 does have a modular casing. Now, there's a button here on the side. Once we push the button, we're able to basically detach the battery. Here's the battery module. I'll put the device down. And for all intents and purposes, this is just exactly what it is. It's a spare battery for our G5. You're running pretty heavy and you're basically draining your battery very quickly. You have to swap this for this one and then you're back to 100% in no time. And then pop in the old one into the case itself, close it, and then charge it using the But all of this is normal. This is what you would expect from the case itself. It comes free with the G5. We just have to register for it, and as long as supplies are lasting, you'll be able to use it. That's not really where it stops. You notice there's a little adapter. Now, this is a micro USB to USB Type-C connector. And the reason why you have this is not to be able to connect it to your G5, although it will work. So you can use this on your G5 to be able to connect any micro USB cable whenever you're on the go. So that's part of the functionality that they also give you. This does come with the case itself. The reason behind this is, so we'll take this out, is that this case also doubles as a power bank. Yes, it's an actual fully functional 3,000 mAh power bank, because that's the capacity of the battery itself here. You can actually push the button here. I'm hoping you guys can see this. There's 3 LED lights indicating 33% at an incremental time. So 33%, 32%, 33%, totaling up to 11% with the battery charge. And we also have a USB Type A connector here that you're able to plug a USB Type C cable, specifically if that's what you're using on your G5, and of course use it to charge our G5. And I'll plug that in right there. Now, this is a very functional thing. You not only can actually charge the G5, you can charge other devices. There's a power button on it, and then basically it just becomes a power bank. Now you notice here that the G5 has to boot up because I turned it off when I was doing the example for you guys. Let me just go ahead and power it up. I let it sit. But it gives you the functionality of basically charging any device. The device is at it's fully charged. It's not helping here. But the short version of it is, it's a 3,000 mAh power bank. Not only is it compatible with your G5, it's compatible with any other device that you're using. If you need to use the G5 with any other additional micro USB cable, such as these cables, which we absolutely have so many of at this point, it makes it compatible to not only charge the unit itself, so you can use it here directly, or you can use it to be able to charge your G5. Now, it may not charge it at the optimal rate, since this is fast charging USB, quick charge 3.0 compatible device. But at least for a pinch, if you need juice to be able to power up your device, you're working there. So it's nice functionally as far as basically the ability to just use it as a power bank. They give you the adapter so that you're never going to be without the functional cable to be able to charge your G5. Not only that, it gives you an additional battery to be able to swap with your G5 at a moment's notice. So very nice, very good option to provide us. Definitely fits into the modular design that LG is trying to give us. This is something that we're very, very happy. The adapter itself and the case and the actual battery are free if you register after you purchase your G5 with LG for the rebate. The unit itself actually was a nice surprise. I know I was going to be getting the actual
choice.
Hey, no. No.
Tried to bust
Belt
one
one
out
out.
on demand while live streaming.
Do you need some lyrics? I can look up some lyrics for you.
No, I know the lyrics.
I've never just tried. No, I know the lyrics. It's fine.
Alright, I was gonna do It Was a Very Good Year, but that's really way too. Alright.
Okay. Just like a stanza or two.
Summer wind came blowing in from across the sea. It's lingered there to touch your hair and walk with me. I'm getting the lyrics wrong, but all summer long we sang a song and we walked that golden sand. Two sweethearts and the summer wind. Alright.
Woo!
That
was beautiful. That was beautiful.
Yeah,
Give it up for Paul, everyone. Blow up chat. That was glorious.
I think I mashed up like 2 or 3 of the verses there.
I kind of wanted you to keep going. I was like having a good time. I was like, yes, I could use some music right now.
Like painted kites. Sorry.
Remix. Dubstep.
I
remix.
would, but we're already running so late. And
We
I'm
are. I know.
tired.
Okay. Let's go ahead and blaze through the story. What? Let's see. 6:36 already.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's just talk about some tech news then. Let's roll right through it. Kaby Lake. They are giving. You're going to be starting to see some Pentiums that support hyperthread, which is pretty awesome. User JCW in the Dutch HWI forums noticed that hyperthreading is going to be supported with these latest Pentiums on the Intel ARC. Intel has confirmed this as well. Models with hyperthreading would be as follows: Pentium G4 560 and all the other ones that are in the article that we listed. So there's 3, 4, 5 different Pentiums. Blue core with hyperthread. They will typically have 4 threads. Which is pretty exciting. That should put them more or less on the scale of Core i3's performance. So that's kind of cool. This might be a viable budget chip for really like tight budget gamers, I would say. You know, if you're looking for like a $500, $400 gaming PC or something like that, maybe it's something to look into. Maybe we'll do some testing of them in the future. But until then, that's what we got for now. It's kind of exciting to see hyperthreading expand the range of Intel CPUs that it's being supported.
I think it's coincidence that it's happens to be right at this time when AMD is finally about to launch a new lineup.
I think it's